This lecture will be about the importance of a patient organization, and we will try to explain why we think that patient organizations are important. We will divide our talks into 3 parts. I will start with sharing a patient's journey with you. Then Connie will talk about what a patient organization can do for their members. Massimo will follow and explain about patient organizations and awareness. And then I do a little bit about the European Alliance for Patients and why we started that one. It all started at my early 20s when I was a student at theatre school in Amsterdam. December 10th, 1988. Another very intense day at school. Started in the early morning with martial arts training, then rehearsed for the rest of the day. Came home at 6 o'clock. Lately I've been taking short naps on the couch before we have dinner because I'm so tired. I'm looking forward to next week when we are planning a short trip to see some friends. June 13th, 1989. Yesterday I had a pizza with my mom and we went to see an old movie, Home of the Brave, with music by Laurie Anderson. And tonight something very strange happened. I fell asleep during dinner. Michel looked at me as my spoon halted halfway through a scoop. He said it stayed there for quite some time and I didn't move at all. It was so strange. The movie soundtrack is still playing in my head. I'm going to buy it. It's really great. March 21st, 1990. Last week, while driving back to Amsterdam, Renee asked me if I think they are boring company because I always fall asleep sitting in the back of their car. And then August 8th, 1991. We went to see Pete and her boyfriend's new house and had a joint dinner. It was so good to see them. They were so happy. Unfortunately, I was very tired. I couldn't keep up with the conversation. I even had the feeling that I was falling asleep. Pete looked at me a few times with an inquisitive look. I went to the toilet several times to pinch myself hard in my arms and upper legs. March 15th, 1992. Yesterday it happened again. Michel and I were having fun trying some acrobatic exercises, but my muscles didn't seem to cooperate and I suddenly had a feeling of kind of weakness in my knees. We had to stop because I had no control over my muscles. It was so strange because we used to be quite good together doing these acrobatic tricks. October 21st, 1993. It's becoming a pattern that I go to bed before Michel is back from work. I hear him opening the door, climbing up the stairs to the bedroom, opening the door, and I can actually feel him coming towards the bed, but he never appears. And then I wake up and I realize that it must have been a dream because Michel is not there. I really don't like it when this is happening. It feels so scary. May 10th, 1994. During Tai Chi class today, one of my classmates said that my eyes rolled back while I was practicing. She saw it in the mirror. She asked me if I had stayed up late last night, but I hadn't. These Tai Chi classes are always so hard for me, however, because you have to move so very slowly. It's so hard for me to remain concentrated or something, I don't know. I'm very much looking forward to the holidays. We are planning to cycle to the south of France. September 9th, 1994.
The cycling holiday in France was really great. We had lovely weather and we really enjoyed it. Today I checked the photos and realized that there are quite a lot of pictures of me sleeping. Sometimes we joke about it. When Michel sees that I'm getting sleepy, he says, "Sleep." But I even fell asleep while cycling, and that certainly wasn't a nice experience. January 15th, 1995. I got a job as a production assistant. I'm so happy. March 28th, 1995. Last Friday, during a rehearsal of the play, I fell asleep again. After the rehearsal, the director pulled me aside and told me that the actors complained to him. They said that it's really not very stimulating to see someone literally fall asleep during the rehearsal. I feel so bad about this because I don't want it to happen, but I don't know what to do. December 27th, 1995. Last weekend, Michel and I went to see friends and family for Christmas. It took us, or at least me, because Michel does not have his driver's license, it took an hour of driving. Halfway through, I started to feel so tired, so I turned on the radio, opened the window, turned the volume up, tried to sing along to the song on the radio, but the feeling of tiredness was still there. I was so sleepy. I told Michel that I was so tired and really could not stay awake. He started to get angry, saying that everyone who feels tired at some point can always stay awake when needed. But somehow that doesn't apply to me. Sometimes it's just impossible for me to stay awake. I don't know. Maybe there is something wrong with me. March 22, 1996. I've decided to visit my general practitioner. I will ask him if this falling asleep all the time is something that's part of me, that I just need to learn to cope with it for the rest of my life. Or maybe there's something really wrong with me, I have no idea. April 18th, 1969. 1996. Yesterday I went to the general practitioner and he thinks maybe it has something to do with epilepsy or something. So he's sending me to a neurologist. June 9th, 1996. This morning I went to the neurologist to get the results of the test I did 2 weeks ago. And what I have is called narcolepsy. The neurologist was really excited about the fact that I was his first patient that he saw in person with this diagnosis. So strange. And then he talked about excessive daytime sleepiness and sleep attacks, cataplexy, sleep paralysis, multiple sleep latency test, hypocretin, medication like antidepressants or stimulants, and hypnagogic hallucinations. It was really too much information for now. In a way, it is a relief to know that there's a name for all the strange things that are happening to me. But I really wonder how about being able to work? Medication, yes, no, I don't know. Getting pregnant, taking care of a baby, driving a car. Can I still drink alcohol if I want? Will it get worse over the years? Wow. I'm 28 years old and I have a disease that cannot be cured.
So this is just an example of a patient journey, of my journey. And it's important to realize that when someone finally gets the diagnosis of narcolepsy or IH, that this person is already had a complete journey from onset of the disease till the final diagnosis. Some of these journeys, they might even take years.
I will talk about patients' organizations and what they can do for their members. I will mainly use examples from the Danish Narcolepsy Association, but what they do is similar to what they do in many other countries. The Danish organization is a national organization, and the members are patients with diagnosis of narcolepsy and idiopathic hypersomnia. It can also be parents to children with narcolepsy or partners to patients, and it can be persons who want to be members for other reasons. The patient organization is run by the members itself. All members more than 18 can be elected at the general meeting for a period of 2 years at the board. All the board members have narcolepsy or idiopathic hypersomnia themselves or are parents to children with narcolepsy. They are doing the work for free in their spare time. There's also other volunteers, mostly members as well. They can work as advisor on the social medias, translation, writing article, finding articles, or arrange meetings. In Denmark, money for running the organization come from membership fees, donations, private funds, sponsorships, but mainly from government funds. When people find the organization on the internet, the first contact is mostly to find the webpage. And they do that very often to get in contact with a helpline advisor of the organization. It's mostly persons who suspect they have narcolepsy. They want to know a little more and how to get a diagnosis. It can also be newly diagnosed who wants more information. They finally got a name on their problems. So they want to have help in their state of life and get in contact with like-minded. It can also be educational institutions, employees, social and health authorities who wants to know something about the disorder, helping patients. I often also answer the phone because they can't get in contact with the advisor. Then they call me because my phone is also on the webpage. And it's a very strong experience to talk to a person because they have been alone with their disorder and they don't know it very well. And they try to explain it to people. And they don't expect anyone truly to understand how they feel. So they talk this way because that's what they used to do. And when they finish explaining and with a sentence and two from me or the advisor, the person starts laughing and crying because they're so relieved. For the first time in their life, they meet someone who knows what they talk about, who understands them. The organization is the voice of the patients. Because as an organization, we are in contact with doctors, researchers, pharmaceutical companies, social authorities, and many others. That makes it possible for us to get access to information and news about research courses, development and treatment of the disorders, new medicine, legislations, social rights, and much more. And the organization can pass all this information on to the members. The organization also speaks on behalf of the members to the professionals, as well as they spread awareness of the disorders to the public. And this way, the organization can act as a link between patients and professionals. And this collaboration can be useful both ways. For instance, in Denmark, the sleep centers got some of the folders to give to the patients when getting diagnosed. In Denmark, we have 7 folders. It's about general information about narcolepsy and idiopathic hypersomnia. It's also specific topics about school, pregnancy, legislations, and some good advices. We make the folders in cooperation with the doctors because then we're sure they are correct and updated. And 2 of the folders are made by healthcare professionals in Norway and translated into Danish. The new members get the folders in the welcome package, and they can always require more folders, as many as they want. Folders can be useful for learning about the disorder for the diagnosed person itself, but also useful when telling about the disorder to others, to family, friends, colleagues, social workers, and so on. But it's not only the folders that the members use. They all can still call the helpline advisor, because it's not only when you get the diagnosis or in the beginning of the learning to live with a sleep disorder that you can need advice. It can be throughout the different phases of life, because change in life may require new changes within coping the disorder, within sleep hygiene, diet, exercise, work, studies, family life, pregnancy, and coping the everyday life in general, and to get information about regulations and opportunities for help with school, education and work, driving license, traveling abroad with medicine, etc. The advisor is a person with narcolepsy itself. And if the advisor cannot advise in a specific situation, they can refer the person to various entities that can give professional help. For instance, a consulting group giving free, impartial advice on legislation, a dietist, or a psychologist with knowledge of narcolepsy. All kinds of information about sleep disorders, whether it's advices, experiences, news, articles, can be shared to the members in newsletters and on the Facebook group, where the members can also ask questions, communicate and share experiences with each others. It's a closed group only for members, but the members can also help the organization and each other by sharing on open social medias, such as on Instagram. And on the World Narcolepsy Days, the campaign held the 22nd September every year. In Denmark, we have new topics each year. This year, it was about work life. It can also be about education or creativity and many other things. All this different kind of information about all aspects of the disorder can help the members to learn to live a good life and gain acceptance about their sleep disorder and life situation. It's extremely helpful to be part of a community in which you can exchange experiences, talk and ask questions about challenges in relation to work, school, family, medicine, and other conditions, such as the understanding of having a sleep disorder, different ways of coping with a disease, where we are in life right now, and much more. But the absolute most positive, educational and best way, according to members themselves, is to meet like-minded people face to face. Members tell that this is how they truly start gaining acceptance and finding their new identity with a sleep disorder. Some say it's like getting a new family, seeing each other each year, and everyone remembers the first time they met other with a disorder face to face. I remember people being nervous, especially parents when they come with their children, because children don't want to come. They don't want to have the disorder. They're sort of very closed. And within a half an hour, they're running around and they're so happy. And the parents are happy. Because within this group, everybody feels normal. Nobody look at you negatively because you fall asleep in the middle of the meeting or having a break. And nobody looks at you because you says good night at 8 o'clock and go to sleep as a grown up. And I also remember a young girl who had cataplexy, and she told that she was also so nervous about her cataplexy because she was so relaxed. She had the worst cataplexy ever, but it didn't matter because it was so normal and it helped her afterwards. So it's very important to meet and talk across different age groups and different stages of life, because a variety of information to meet and talk across different age groups and different stages of life gives a variety of info, and that is good because different people needs different info, and they can see there is hope for a good future. So it's an important task for the organization to arrange that members can meet each other. We have annual meetings, weekends, every year, where we arrange workshops and lectures with professionals within the disorders or experts in coping strategies. We have weekend seminars, for instance, for children with narcolepsy and parents, for adolescents, young adults, people in work, etc. We have smaller local meetings, which are kind of self-help groups. We can also organize picnic, meet in a cafe, or go on a trip or somewhere. Besides the offers that the association can provide to its members, it's important to raise awareness about narcolepsy. The video that we will show now was made by the Dutch patient organization some years ago. It was translated into multiple languages and shared with other patient organizations in Europe. In Denmark, we have the video on our webpage. The aim of the movie was to create awareness about narcolepsy.
Heerlijk als je eindelijk kan toegeven aan je vermoeidheid. Even een slaapje tussendoor.
Czym pan Kowalski różni się od innych ludzi? Pan Kowalski miał dziś ciężki dzień, a wieczorem czeka go jeszcze zebranie rodziców w szkole. Wracając do domu, postanowił więc uciąć sobie krótką drzemkę w pociągu.
Entä nämä muut? He nukahtelevat tuon tuostakin keskellä päivää, toisinaan hyvinkin oudoissa paikoissa. Yrittivätpä he kuinka kovasti tahansa, he vain eivät onnistu pysymään hereillä.
Claire, Heather, and Dave have been diagnosed with narcolepsy. They weren't born with it. It's something that has developed over time. At a certain point in time, something changed in Claire's brain.
Buňky v mozku, které řídí její spánek a bdění, byly náhodně rozpoznány jako nepřátelští vetřelci a byly odstraněny imunitním systémem. Důsledky jsou nezvratné. Klára, Petra a David budou trpět sníženou schopností regulovat střídání spánku a bdění po zbytek svého života. A to není všechno.
Når Henrik virkelig griner, bliver han sommetider overvundet af en pludselig fornemmelse af følelsesløshed. Andre stærke følelser har samme effekt.
Et lorsque Claire s'endort le soir, elle est souvent sujette à des cauchemars angoissants et oppressants. Ces cauchemars sont parfois accompagnés par un sentiment de paralysie.
Solían pensar que Esther estaba cansada, era perezosa o desinteresada. Pero desde que supo que sufre narcolepsia, sigue un tratamiento. Tiene en cuenta ciertas pautas de conducta y ya rara vez oye que se diga algo así de ella.
Zum Glück wissen Monika, Bettina und Wolfgang, dass sie an Narkolepsie leiden. Sie wissen auch, dass reichlich Wissen zu diesem Thema vorliegt und dass es viele Möglichkeiten gibt, um ein relativ normales Leben mit Narkolepsie zu führen. Erkennen Sie Monikas, Bettinas und Wolfgangs Symptome bei sich selber?
Ataques de sueño durante el día.
Faiblesse soudaine des muscles dans des moments d'émotion forte.
Hallucinatoriske drømme.
Pokud ano, poraďte se svým lékařem, aby vás mohl doporučit do specializovaného centra pro poruchy spánku.
Mr. Richards, Mr. Richards, time to wake up.
My part is about patient organization and the importance of the awareness. The awareness are very important, moreover those driven by the patient organization for the general awareness, because as you all know, outside the sleep centers, many doctors are completely unaware about what narcolepsy is, and often also about what the sleep disease are. And so it's really important to share awareness, both for the healthcare, but also for the general population, that is really important that they know what narcolepsy is. And here we come at the second point, for stigma reduction. In narcolepsy is a disease with a very high stigma, is very correlated with the conception that we have of sleep, and that is not so important with our in our culture. So it's really important that with our awareness campaign we increase the awareness and the misconception of what narcolepsy is. Often even the media don't know the real symptoms. They just imagine that a person is walking on the street and fall asleep. So here is really important. And the last point, but is not less important, is to improve the acceptance for the people with narcolepsy. The awareness can really help in let the person know that they have narcolepsy, meet other person with narcolepsy, understand that they are not strange, different, or so it's really important to have a better quality of life. The role of the patient association in the awareness campaign is really important. Often this role must be done together with some sleep specialists to give to the campaign an institutional value that cannot be it can be they just don't have to think that this is something produced by person that have narcolepsy and that's all, but has got a scientific support. So it's really important that specialists of narcolepsy and organization drives this campaign together. The first reason is for educational programs. It's really important to educate public, but also the healthcare professional about narcolepsy. The media coverage, because is absolutely necessary that we spread information on the media. And talking about media, I talk about TV, newspaper, radio, but also the new media that are the social media, the WhatsApp groups. So it's really important to have 100% coverage and reach all the public, from the youngest to the oldest people. Then it's really important the awareness campaign with events and for the political influence. We all know that if we are not strong and the patient organization are not strong and don't make awareness campaign that are important, the politician could do what they want with our skin. So it's really important to make this awareness campaign and influence the decision of the politician in favor of people with narcolepsy. The impact of the awareness campaign in this year has been really important, because it has increased the diagnosis rates. So in the past there was something like 14 years for a person with narcolepsy before they could have a diagnosis, and now finally it has been reduced thanks to this awareness campaign. They improve the quality of life. Obviously, if you start earlier a therapy, you can have many benefits in all the fields of your life, from your friends, your family, your work, your school. Everything is better, and this makes your quality of life higher. And then another really important thing is the participation of the patients in the country organization. This is really important because meeting other person that has your same problem can make you feel normal and not different. And in this context, it's really important that people help us in the spreading the information in the awareness campaign. So that is not just the patient organization that shares the information, but also the person themselves that brings this information. You can do it by voice, but also using sharing the content on the social media. This could really be helpful because all your friends and everyone knows what it is narcolepsy. So this is really participating actively in the organization life. Talking about the political and media influence, good awareness campaign can bring to political interaction, influencing the decision in favor of people with narcolepsy, as I said before, and media interest in narcolepsy and sleep disorders. And this I think is really, really important also because it can often they make dedicated reports, interviews. I've been personally interviewed several times, and moreover focus on the topic. Somehow we really have to take care about this media interest and news and all these things, because it's really important also to choose where to go and where not to go to talk. It's really, here it's also important the role of the patient association to choose where to participate, because for example, I don't know, something like these TV shows that are talking about everything and treat everything superficially are things that we prefer to avoid. But those scientific programs that have focus on narcolepsy are those useful ones that are really helpful for our cause. So this is really important. I wanted to show some key awareness campaign that we presented, that we did in Italy. Create for Sleep has been a campaign that we did in 3 years. The first year it's been a contest that we did together with NABA, that is the Academy of Belle Arts in Milan, and we did this contest, and the students had to paint some the symptoms of narcolepsy, and the one who won has been published on a magazine that talked about arts. But the aim of this first part was not just the contest itself, but to get the interest of the other media, newspaper, radio, instead of having it directly, so contacting them by ourselves, to get their attention indirectly. That in this way they often make better articles, and the information normally spreads automatically much wider and much better, and it's really a different quality instead of being the classic article written by us and published by the newspaper. The second year we made the song together with an Italian rap singer. It's been published on Spotify and Apple Music and all the also on YouTube there is the video of the song, and this has been the first song written by patients and together with the singer, and the song, it's in Italian of course, and it's called Ad Occhi Chiusi, is from the artist Murubutu, and it's really wonderful because it talks about everything from the misdiagnosis, from the diagnosis, the therapy, and your life after that you have a therapy, and has been really useful because also in this way we obtained the attention of the media indirectly instead of directly. And this song, after this song, in the World Narcolepsy Day, we made a concert just for the person with narcolepsy, and we made a concert with live with this singer, and it's been really useful also from the awareness point of view, because all the media talking about this. The third year we went in Bologna, all around the city, in some corners, in some hot spots, for example outside the school, in the main square of Bologna, outside an hospital. We put some miniature and some miniatures and some graffiti about narcolepsy with a QR code with just a sentence that should make you curious about what it was, but not giving the exact definition. Just there was just these paints, these figures that were all the symptoms of narcolepsy. So if you recognize yourself in that figure, sleepy, cataplexy, hallucination, you could check with the QR code what it was, the symptom, and what it could be, and there was a test about narcolepsy. And at the end of this campaign, of this Bologna tour with the miniature, we made a flash mob that was really important in to finish in a good way this event. And this Create for Sleep has been really useful because also from the diagnosis point of view, we received a lot of contacts. The second awareness campaign that is really successful, has been really successful in Italy, is the Red Flag Project. Is a guide how to recognize symptoms. Is for specialists, and it is two guidelines. Is one for kids and one for adults. We went in all the congresses together with some sleep specialists, and we talked in these congresses and presenting both from the scientific point of view and the patient point of view what it means narcolepsy, what it is narcolepsy, both in adult and kids. So, and we have been in neuropsychiatry, pediatry, general medicine, psychology, in their national congresses, and we talked there. And we don't pretend that they can make a diagnosis, but it's really important that they recognize the symptoms and send these patients to a sleep center so they can have a properly diagnosis. Then another key awareness campaign that we are celebrating worldwide is the World Narcolepsy Day. The 22nd September, all around the world, we celebrate and we film media with picture, video, and info about narcolepsy. This is really an example on how a coordination with all the World Sleep Association for a day can make the difference in awareness, in information about narcolepsy. And it's also useful because many patients put their face on the media, and so it's really nice because you don't feel alone. Talking about World Narcolepsy Day is one of the important things of the awareness in the key meetings. In Italy, for example, we make the self-help groups where we share information, but also we talk with each other. There are some high level person with narcolepsy, sorry for the word, but it's just to give you an example, that high experienced person with narcolepsy with new experienced person with narcolepsy, and so we talk mostly to make understand that the world is not over when you get the diagnosis. It's just the beginning of a journey that if you are strong and you have perseverance and a bit of luck, it can give you also some satisfaction. We make school information, we go in the school, we make awareness inside the schools, moreover mostly where there are kids with narcolepsy. We make sports tournament, that is this is another indirect kind of awareness, because we organize this sport tournament, football, volleyball, paddle. We make this sport tournament. People, for example, in Rome last year, we made people with narcolepsy versus people with idiopathic hypersomnia versus caregiver, and it's been really nice, also because it's been won by a person with narcolepsy. So yeah, and then we participate in Congress with info points where we have our brochures, and everywhere we can, we want to be there and share informations. Information meeting with updates on research and new therapy. This is something that we do for our members, because it's really important that they get always the latest information on if there are new discoveries, if there are new therapies. Also because sometimes even the doctors don't give you the latest therapies and that there is on the market, and the patient themselves often don't see the doctor for also 10 years sometimes. So it's really something crazy that and we want that the person keep their updating on what it is narcolepsy, what you can have for your disease, and if there are news about the research, is something that you have to be interested in. Then, as I said before, we make celebration like World Narcolepsy Days, and in the World Narcolepsy Days we always make a party. We sing, we dance, we play, we make tournaments, we make concerts. It's really important because also this attracts a lot of interest for media. And then another thing that we do as meeting, we make camping and holiday together. That is something that can improve the relationships between the person with narcolepsy and learn how to cope with narcolepsy, but also how to socialize. So this is really something useful for a person with narcolepsy. My presentation is over.
So Connie and Massimo shared stories about their national patient organizations, and around 2020 we started talking about creating a European platform for patient organizations, for the national patients organizations, to share the best practices and make a stronger voice for people with narcolepsy and idiopathic hypersomnia in Europe. So we founded eNAP finally in 22, and we are 15 organizations, and we have 13 countries that are member of eNAP. And these 13 countries, they all send one participant, one representative to eNAP, and those 13 representatives, they choose the board of eNAP. These are the national patient organizations that are currently member of part of eNAP. And the countries that are part of eNAP are Norway, Sweden, Finland, Denmark, Ireland, Germany, Poland, Switzerland, Italy, France, Belgium, Spain, and the Netherlands. And patient organizations with a similar goal as eNAP, they can apply for membership. We also try to reach out ourselves if we know that there is a patient organization in a country and that patient organization is not part of eNAP yet. We try to contact them. We don't ask for membership fee because we want to make it as accessible as possible for national patients organizations to join eNAP. The main mission of eNAP is to be a leading voice of patient organizations in Europe, to raise awareness because many people with narcolepsy are still undiagnosed, and to increase awareness on the impact of narcolepsy, to offer better quality of life to people with narcolepsy and reduce stigma, isolation, and discrimination. To promote narcolepsy in the health agendas of Europe and other institutions, and to promote equal access to medication and care throughout Europe. Last year, we organized the discussion in smaller groups at the European Narcolepsy Days. These discussion groups were between medical experts and patients or partners or parents of patients. And each group talked about specific challenges and the biggest challenge in different stages of life. And at the end, it turned out that acceptance was a very big topic that was talked about in each group. So that made us realize as eNAP that acceptance is a really important thing for patients and also is an ongoing process. There is never, you can never reach the end level of acceptance because there will always be new situations where you have to deal with the fact that you have narcolepsy. So next year, and that was actually last year in Montpellier at the European Narcolepsy Days, we asked patients to make a short statement about acceptance and what has helped them or is still helping them in the process of acceptance. And we asked them to record this with their phone. And we combined these statements into a short video, and we showed that one at the European Narcolepsy Day, and we will share it with you now.
Vores råd vil være at finde venskaber, der accepterer og respekterer dig, som du er.
My advice about accepting narcolepsy in your life is to not be afraid to mention it to your employer, or if you're a student, to mention it to your tutor, teacher or lecturer.
Aussi ne pas se sentir seul grâce à l'ANC, pouvoir rencontrer d'autres patients. Le premier séjour que j'ai fait m'a fait énormément de bien, pouvoir rencontrer d'autres personnes, ensuite venir en aide à d'autres, des patients, des gens perdus, donner des astuces.
Conocer a otros pacientes y compartir con ellos me ha ayudado mucho a reconocer y aceptar mi narcolepsia. También compartir poco a poco con mi familia y mis amigos cercanos cómo es vivir con narcolepsia.
Hi, I have type 2 narcolepsy, or is that IH, short sleep time. Without a reliable, reproducible diagnostic test, I have nothing to hang any level of acceptance on.
One piece of advice about accepting narcolepsy in my life. You can do everything, but not every day. One day you can run, you can go to work, meet with friends, and another day you can lay down or sleep for several hours. And that's normal, it's narcolepsy.
Hej, mit råd om accept er at melde sig ind i en forening, hvor man kan møde ligesindede og dele erfaringer, og derved komme til at forstå og acceptere sin sygdom.
My acceptance advice is that you need to focus on the things that you are able to do instead of focusing on all of the things you're not able to do. And make peace with your illness and try your best to learn how to live with it.
and president of the Narcolepsy Association of the Netherlands. It's important to feel that you are not alone. That's why we organize events where people can meet fellow sufferers, to exchange experiences, to share feelings, or just to relax together with people who will understand you. We are convinced that these kind of things will help people to accept the sleep disorder and to learn to cope with it.
Desde el momento que recibes un diagnóstico, es muy importante que aprendas a vivir con esta nueva realidad. Intenta normalizar lo antes posible esta situación, compartiendo experiencias y dificultades en tu entorno social y familiar más cercano.
Hi, my advice for you is that as narcolepsy is part of your life, just talk about it naturally, tell your friends, tell your family, your co-workers, and never be afraid to ask for help. I can assure you that they will be really nice about it and try their best to help you. So yeah, that is my advice.
Buenas, mi consejo es que no dejes que la narcolepsia sea la que te ponga límites, sino que seas tú la que te pongas tus propias barreras y que vayas al máximo de tus capacidades y tengas la vida más plena posible.
My advice is that you learn about your narcolepsy, find some coping strategies that works for you, talk to other people and share experiences so you can learn to manage your narcolepsy in a good way.
My daughter Emily got narcolepsy from the swine flu vaccine in 2009. So when she got the diagnosis in fall 2010, it was in a way a relief, and she accepted that she had narcolepsy. And it has been very useful for us to meet, share information, tips and tricks between the children, and just talk and support each other.
Pour moi, une des meilleures façons d'accepter l'hypersomnie, c'est d'être suivi dans un centre de référence. Ça permet d'être cru, d'être écouté, d'être soutenu et de savoir que la recherche existe et qu'il y a de l'espoir.
Mit råd vil være at acceptere, at du ikke har det samme energiniveau, som du havde før. Ikke at du ikke kan gøre det samme som andre, men du bliver nødt til at tage det i dit eget tempo og tage det i etapper eller små doser.
It's looking at my gifts rather than looking at the things that I can't do. That's my advice. Thank you.
When you, or someone you love, gets diagnosed with narcolepsy, you might feel completely in the dark.
My advice is to get in contact with the patient organisation, to find other patients, partners, parents to talk to share experiences and to learn from each other. And most important of all, realize that you're not alone.
So the conclusion of the question, the importance of a patient organization, how can they contribute? Well, the patient organization can play a crucial role in the life of patients and their loved ones by learning about the disorder, as Connie and Massimo explained, to organize peer-to-peer contact, and they can really play a crucial role in the process of accepting by doing this. The patient organizations can raise awareness among the general public, but also, as Massimo explained, among the medical experts, which is also very important. And finally, the patient organizations can be a voice for patients and address patients' needs while working together with medical experts and researchers and pharma. And working together with these groups, we can create a better quality of life for people who live with narcolepsy and IH. And that's the main importance. Thank you. My name is Leontien Sickenga. I am 57 years old. I started to have symptoms of narcolepsy when I was about 20 years, and I was diagnosed with narcolepsy when I was 28. I'm chair of eNAP, and I've been part of the board of the National Patient Organization in the Netherlands, and I'm currently on the advisory board of this organization.
My name is Connie Landstedt. I'm 57 years old. I got narcolepsy when I was 12 years old, and I got diagnosed when I was 35. I'm the treasurer of eNAP, and I'm the chair of the board of the Danish Association. I've been there for 8 years and been part of the board for 18 years.
My name is Massimo Zenti. I'm the president of the Italian Patient Organization and the vice chair of the eNAP. I have narcolepsy since I was 8. My diagnosis arrived at 21 and now I'm 39, and I'm glad of being in this wonderful group.